Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Go with Red. Today we're in LaGrange, Georgia. Now, we're gonna walk around the old original part of town, see what's changed, what remains, and see why places like this are important. Y'all come on and go with me, and let's go see what we can find. Now, the first thing I notice is this beautiful fountain here on the courthouse square. Now, this fountain surrounds the statue of Marquis de Lafayette. Now, the city was named in honor of General Lafayette. General Lafayette passed through this area in March of 1825, and he remarked that it reminded him of his wife's estate, LaGrange. And I'm sure I made some French-speaking people cringe when I said that, but I'm an old Southern man. I do the best I can. But I think it was 2 years later, the town was named in honor of General Lafayette. They named it LaGrange. There's a beautiful area here in the center of town. A lot of benches where you can just sit and relax and watch the fountain and listen to the water. But isn't that beautiful? That's an amazing feature right here in the center of town, and it's surrounded by all these beautiful trees that line the circular area here. All right, I got my Circle K coffee in hand. Let's walk around, take a look at these buildings, and you know I got to get a church or two in the video. But there are a couple right here close to the square. We'll take a look at those. While I'm waiting to cross the street here, LaGrange is not a small town. It's actually a pretty large town, but it still holds on to the original buildings, which was incorporated in 1828. So it's been around a very long time. So it's worth noting and it's worth showcasing, and it's a place that most people will never see. And to tell you the truth, I've never been to the downtown area. I have been to LaGrange many times, but never to this area. Let me get across the street real quick. Like I was saying, LaGrange is not a small town. In the 2020 census, I think it had 31,000 people. It's kind of sprawling. This is just a very small section of downtown, and this building, things like this, I love that. And this is the Chamber of Commerce. It's a pretty popular little place to eat there, the Brulee Dessert Bar. I've seen quite a few people going in there, and when I looked online, that was one of the places that it highlighted as one of the places to eat. So might have to pop in there a little later. Now, I love these old stone sidewalks. That's really a nice touch. I don't know how long they've been here, but the brick sidewalks and the brick crosswalks. Now, there's some unusually shaped buildings and some more rounded buildings. I don't know much about style or architecture. I really don't. I just know what I like, and that's what I like to show. Like I've said many times before, it's not a documentary channel. You're not going to get a lot of dates, and you're not going to get a lot of you might not get a lot of information. But what I like to do is showcase buildings. Now, there are people that have channels that can tell you all about the buildings, all about the dates they were built, everything about them. And that's not me. I really appreciate those people and their ability, but I just don't have that. I don't have that in me. I just know what I like, and I like to show what I like. And this is the Legacy Museum, Troup County. Now, LaGrange is the county seat. Looks like my image is a little bit dark. I think I got my camera set for bright sunlight. You know, I have trouble keeping my camera the way I set correctly. It's quite a challenge for me. This is the AMC Theater. Just an unusual building with the round dome on top. Now I love this building. This is the other side of the Legacy Museum on Main, but it towers here, and it's just a gorgeous building with the way it's designed, the big concrete columns and the design up at the top. Here's another building, entryway with rounded glass, and they have little gas lanterns lighting the entryway. Check out this door. I'm gonna back up. Check out that door. Isn't that something? That is beautiful. It's really just it's beautiful. I'm gonna give you a shot of the downtown and just show you how pretty it is down here. The lanterns hanging across the street all the way down. I don't know if that has any significance, as if there's something going on special or if not. But this is just a beautiful block in the downtown area of LaGrange, Georgia. Now this building right here, or this says 1931. We've got another fountain down here. I've got to walk down here and take a look at this as well. I'm going to turn the camera around and just show you how beautiful this breezeway and this walkway is here. Nice little fountain here. Nice water feature with places to sit. Really nice. That is really nice. I love it when a building is actually dated like this one. Look at that design. It's 1927. This building is 99 years old. There are quite a few things in this building. There's a lot of vacant properties here. Good place to have a business. I don't know what the rent is. Probably pretty expensive. I wonder if that is living spaces. It says office spaces for rent, so I assume that's office spaces up there. These are old southern towns. These entranceways and these entryways of these stores are all similar, but to me they're just beautiful and have so much character. I'm walking down this block. It's just block after block after block here of beautiful buildings. We'll get a couple of churches in. There's some beautiful churches downtown here. Walk back around to the downtown, to the square of where the statue and the fountain is. That's just gorgeous to me. Coffee B4. Well, these buildings show up. The sun is beaming through the clouds there, but just want to show this is right off of the square. I love how these trees, or these, I don't know what those are called. I'm lacking in my horticultural skills or knowledge, but it's just beautiful. And I love the way they have these benches set up and places to sit here. There are a lot of places to sit with a lot of shade. I have a seat right here and just enjoy the beautiful view. Come and relax. There's a lot of shade, cool area to sit, and then just read a book or whatever. Beautiful the way they have this set up and maintained. And let's see, Marquis de Lafayette, Good Better de Montier. Like I said, I'm sure I make some French speaking people cringe when I try to speak in my French accent, but I don't think I do too bad to have such a strong southern accent. Look at this beautiful, gorgeous building right here. ECI Elements. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a very pretty building. Across the street and get a better view of it. There's a lot of traffic here in LaGrange, and it's very early on Saturday morning, but it is, like I said, it's not a small town. I love those gas lanterns they have. They have these gas lanterns, they have the gas lights. That's something you don't normally see. That's sort of unusual. Now, this building's showing its age a little bit. It's got some separation and some cracks, but that just adds to its character. That is a beautiful building to me. The tile work down here, you see this a lot in these store entryways. That tile work will be 100+ years old and still look amazing. It's phenomenal to me that it maintains its integrity after all of those years. And here is a huge church here on the square. This is the First Baptist Church on the square with a towering steeple up there. I want to walk on around and get a good view of it, but that is a massive church. Take a look at this church. Isn't that something else? I love the dual steps going up to the church. It's a massive towering steeple. That is really something. I'm going to see if there's any information on this church, see how old it is. That is just beautiful. It is a huge church. I mean, gigantic. I'm not used to churches this size. I grew up going to church in a really small, sort of a family church in the small town I grew up in. Really tiny. I'm not used to churches this size or churches with this that are so grand. And this church caught my eye when I was coming into town. First Presbyterian Church, established 1829. Quite a different style church than the Baptist church that I just had shown, but this church is much smaller, but it has a lot of character, and I don't know anything about the style that it's constructed in, but it's considerably different than the Baptist church that's right next door. Well, I said it was smaller, but now that I look, it's actually a huge church as well. These are some massive churches here in LaGrange. I love those windows though. I love that design. It looks like maybe it was added on to later from the original from here. But isn't that beautiful? Look at those windows. I have the Coca-Cola building here on the corner, rounded into the corner. The old Coca-Cola building, it says Daily News LaGrange now, but originally it was the Coca-Cola building. Has a Coca-Cola bottle incorporated into the entryway, into the design there. I'm going to walk down the street. There's another church down here I want to show. Try to get a few more of these buildings in. Try to get a little better, show them a little better than what I maybe have been. I'm trying to navigate the traffic and all the traffic noise, and trying to not let that overpower the video. Walk down the alleyway here and just walk around behind some of these buildings. I like to look at the back alleys and that sort of thing and see what that looks like, as well as the main part of town that they present. You know, the backs of buildings, to me, a lot of times have a lot of character. Look at the old wires and entanglement there, the old vines that are growing. That says a lot. I mean, that tells a story. Sometimes more of a story than the polished face of the buildings out front does. You know, I'm sure LaGrange has seen a lot of changes over the years. Had some good times, some bad times, gone through hard times. And that's like us people. We experience some difficult times, some hard times. I've had a couple of people that I'm very close to that have gone through some issues recently, and I just want to mention that you know, things may be difficult. Times can be very hard. I've gone through some very hard times, but what I've learned is that nothing ever stays the same. Even though you're going through a very difficult situation at the moment, just hold on, because it's not going to stay the same. It's going to get better with time. That's an old unpolished part of a building that used to be the wall where another building was. You can see where it was attached right there. Old stone building. That part was unseen. Isn't that something? I understand, I really do understand how people can feel overwhelmed and feel like there's no way out, and there's nothing that they can do. But that's just not the case. It never is. Like I said, things don't stay the same. They're always changing, and I just hope that if you're experiencing hard times or difficult times, please seek out some help and talk to somebody that you trust, or seek out some professional help. That's just something I wanted to mention this morning. I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with LaGrange, but just something I was thinking about and I wanted to talk about. Tattoo gallery. At one time probably would have been one of my favorite places. I have quite a few tattoos. I want to walk down here. There's another unusual church, and there's also a building down here. The way it's painted, I just kind of want to show that. It's on the area that I normally drive through. It always stands out to me, sort of unique. I like the backs of these buildings right here. So you got these birds that are painted on this brick entryway. And this is the LaGrange Art Museum, and the building is 1892. Now the building itself is a work of art, in my opinion. Check this out, and I love the way they have the birds painted along the brick fence in front of the building here. Here's another building that always stands out to me. It's the Center for Creative Learning, and one thing I do prefer about a smaller town is you don't have all this traffic. You don't have problems crossing the street. Here I have to wait on the crossing light, because as you can hear, there's a lot of traffic. It's not a small town by any stretch of the imagination. Cross the street real quick. Now this is St. Peter's Catholic Church. Now this church always catches my eye as well when I'm driving through LaGrange, because this is where I normally would pass through, and it's a very large church as well. The thing that stands out to me is the way it's built, the shape of the building. That's what really makes it stand out. And this is St. Peter's Catholic Church. I don't know how old it is. There's nothing that indicates its age, but I just think it's a unique building. It stands out, has a lot of character, a lot of style, and every time I drive by, it catches my eye and I notice it. And I when I was thinking about doing the video, I knew I had to include this building because it just says something to me. It stands out to me every time I come by. I really miss my small town. I'm gonna have to get back to just doing small towns. I wanted to do LaGrange just because it has some really nice old buildings and it's an old town, but it's just too much traffic noise for me. Oh, this is kind of cute. LaGrange Art Museum Mini Art Gallery Exchange. And they've got some drawings in there the kids have done and things they've added. It's kind of cute. Again, those stone and brick sidewalks continue. I really love those. They're different, better than just the old just plain ordinary concrete. And I wonder if these are original, or I know they're not new, so I don't know how long they've been here. LaGrange also is home to the oldest private college in the state, Carvella's Pizza Company. Good slice of pizza sounds pretty good right now. This town combines southern charm with modern amenities. Like I said, it's a little bit noisy and a little bit too hustle and bustle for me. I really just wanted to showcase these buildings and how beautiful they are downtown. I drove through here the other day for the first time. Even though I've been to LaGrange many times, I've never come through here. Never have any reason to. I normally come for work. But when I came through and I saw just how nice this area was, I decided then I wanted to do a video on it. But I tried to come early, but I don't think it really matters. You have a fairly large city. It wakes up pretty early and gets going pretty early. I have to say, if I'm on vacation or if I'm just trying to relax and enjoy myself, I don't mind. I really enjoy an area like this where there's a lot to do, a lot of places to eat, a lot going on. But when I'm doing a video or what have you, I much prefer a much quieter, more laid back, more relaxing area that not so noisy. Now this old grinding stone here is from grist mill at Troop Factory that opened in 1829. It says it was donated by Julius Swetnam and her family. 1829 on this old grinding stone. That's kind of interesting. Troop County Historical Society. It's just a really nice old building here. I don't know why I expected it to be a little quieter and not be so busy and noisy. But we'll finish up here. That's going to do it for this video. Next time I will get back to my small town. I love LaGrange. It's a beautiful, beautiful town, but it's just a little too busy for me. A little bit too much going on. We'll finish up here back at the beautiful fountain in the town square. But until next time, I'm Red. Keep exploring, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you more than you know. Y'all have an amazing day.